Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 7th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and ECM Ensembles. Maybe once around in a couple of weeks, we'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That gets us into the second half of November. We will also bring you up to date with all of the latest developments in terms of the chance, potential of a very significant storm Wednesday into Thursday. So more about that later on in the video as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. We've released the weekend forecast, we've released the 6 AM forecast, and the second Winter 2023-24 Season 1 Roundup has been released as well. That gets together 16 long range models from the world's leading broadcast centres to see what they're all showing for the Winter 2023-24 for only the second time this season. So check that one out. It's a very, very, very interesting watch, I shall say, no more than that. Okay, let's crack on with 10 to 14 there. Then we're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. So we've got a yellow X appear down here in the Western Caribbean Sea. That is disturbance 1, and there's just a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days with that. I don't think we have to worry too much about that one for now. We've got Tropical Storm Tammy, which has re-emerged. Remember yesterday, when we did the 10 to 14 day, we had got like a post-tropical depression. The National Hurricane Centre was saying that it might redevelop into a tropical storm. Well, around half an hour after I released the video, Tammy did indeed reanimate. So now we have Tropical Storm Tammy again, giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour with a minimum surface pressure of 994 millibars. Clicking on Tammy, we can see that this tropical storm is going to continue to go in that direction, and will again be going post-tropical when we get into the end of the weekend and the beginning of next week. Central temperature is now sitting at 12.5, which is 1.9 degrees above the 61 to 1990 average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 27th of October. Near month's end, I think that's going to finish up somewhere in the low 12s. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around average at the moment. We're going to find the upper air temperatures dropping as we go from the first week into the second week of November, so becoming cooler then. But overall, nothing overly dramatic happening with the upper air temperatures. This period just here, coming up over next week, you look at that and think, you know, but about average temperature. Actually, it will be slightly above average because nights are going to be relatively mild, even though the days won't be that mild. I think it probably does turn a bit cooler than average later on through the first week of November. More impactful is probably precipitation, though. You know, lots and lots of rainfall spikes to come from beginning to end. So the next 2 weeks, bit of a deluge on the way, especially actually for the first week. Perhaps a little bit drier. Anything into the second week. Well, not drier, but the precipitation spikes aren't quite as large in the second week. But the first week, this first week coming up, looks really, really wet actually, from today, right way through to next weekend as well. Lots of wet weather on the way. Temperature anomalies from the 28th of October, 5th of November, a bit above average. As I was explaining here, above the upper air temperatures are about average. At this time of the year, in a zonal pattern, that will mean that the surface temperature is actually a bit above average, and that will continue through the winter with this kind of mobile pattern as well. The reason being we don't get the cold and frosty nights. That pulls the overall temperature anomaly down. Precipitation anomaly is looking significantly wetter than normal as well. On 28th of October, 5th of November. So, as I was just saying, a very wet week to come. Excuse me, everybody. Latest Windflow Map from earthnoschool.net. So we've got an area of low pressure west of the UK and Ireland today. A little secondary feature is developing around here, and that will bring heavy rain, maybe even some thunderstorms into southern and southeastern parts of the country from this afternoon and into this evening. Okay, let's start going through the chart data. This is our latest UK Met Eurogrid. It's looking midnight on Tuesday. Low pressure is dominating the weather then. Oh, another area of low pressure coming in Tuesday into Wednesday. That brings a batch of wet, windy weather, but it's really this low just here that we're concerned about on Wednesday night and into Thursday. That has the potential to become a very significant feature. The UK Met Eurogrid quickly moves out northeastwards into the country overnight to Wednesday into Thursday. The central pressure about appears to be going down to around 950 millibars, I think. You can see how tight back the isobars are on the southern side of that low. Could bring some severe gales into southern and also western parts of the country. There will be heavy rain or associated with that as well. And low pressure remains in the ascendancy with the UK Met Eurogrid right way up to midnight on Friday there, and we go beyond that into Saturday. Yes, you guessed it, more low pressure is in the ascendancy in the Atlantic Ocean. Icon, again, showing low pressure meandering around on Tuesday, but it's really Wednesday into Thursday that things get shifted on by a strong jet stream. Deep area of low pressure brings heavy rain, gale force wind potentially into southern and also western parts of the country from Wednesday into Thursday. This is a big day Thursday, again, very tightly packed isobars there with Icon for England and Wales. Could see gusts of wind inland going up to like 50, 60, 70 mile an hour around coast. 70, 80 mile an hour gusts are possible with this. I would suspect this is likely to be named, this area of low pressure. And then another low actually follows on hot on its heels, like a daughter low, being further wet weather into Friday. That's as far as we get to with Icon. Gets us to midday on Saturday. And the next low is waiting in the wing. So just a conveyor belt, a continuous conveyor belt of low pressure bringing wet and at times potentially even stormy weather in from off the Atlantic. This is the GFS midnight run. Again, we've got this flabby low meandering around on Tuesday, but Wednesday brings the first low in from off the Atlantic. That will bring some wet wind weather overnight Tuesday to Wednesday. But it's this low just here that all of the concern is about at the moment. That is being invigorated by a very strong jet stream coming across the North Atlantic from North America. So we've got like 150, 200 mile an hour jet stream here high up in the atmosphere, and that will intensify this area of low pressure. That jet stream, by the way, being fueled by temperature contrast. So we've got quite cold air coming out of the North Atlantic and Canada. And, of course, we've got residual warmth left over from the summer and the autumn to the south of that jet stream. And so it's a perfect recipe to get an invigorated jet stream. When you get an invigorated jet stream, you get a low pressure running along that jet stream, such as we're seeing here, then you got the perfect recipe for a rapidly deepening area of low pressure and intense cyclogenesis. So again, that's how the jet looks at midday on Wednesday. Very, very, very strong jet stream there in the North Atlantic, feeding into that area of low pressure. So the low pressure, the upshot is the low pressure deepens but like mad by the time we get through to midnight on Thursday. The pressure, central pressure in that low is dropping very, very quickly. It's now down to around 960 millibars, I think. Strongest winds as usual on the southern side of the area of low pressure. So severe gale force winds pushing through the English, through the Bay of Biscay, I should say, and start to move up towards the English Channel. Again, you see how the jet stream is pushing from the Atlantic into northern Spain and into the English Channel as well. The area of low pressure around here, so the jet stream feeding into that low, intensify. It's kind of scenario that can produce a sting jet. So sting jets can produce very significant storms indeed in a narrow area. So I wouldn't necessarily say that there'll be a sting jet from this. It's too far out to say that with any certainty. You know, it's only Saturday. This is all happening Wednesday night into Thursday, but it is definitely a scenario to watch this. Now, as we go through into Thursday, we've got this intense area of low pressure down in the south. The central pressure is around 960 to 955 millibars. I think with that, severe gales again with some side back low. The worst it looks like it's going to northern France actually on this GFS midnight run, but of course that low pressure could be just a little bit further north and allow those severe gales from northern France into the southeast of England. In any case, it looks wet and windy across much of the country on Thursday into Friday. And then beyond that, more low pressure rattling in Friday into Saturday. That bringing further wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. And all the way up to day 10, really we keep a very unsettled weather going. Beyond that, yes, low pressure keeps coming. No sign of a break within the first 10 days of November. This looks like some sort of tropical or subtropical feature as well here. So I don't know what's going on with that. But that could be like a tropical storm and or hurricane moving into the North Atlantic there, or the remains of, and that's what I end up with the GFS midnight run. So by then, low pressure started to shift eastwards. We're beginning to pull something a little bit colder in from the north, maybe, as heights start to rise close to Iceland. Now, this is how the GFS 6 is looking. Again, low pressure will be meandering around the country on Tuesday. Quite a significant low comes through Tuesday to Wednesday, bring wet, windy weather, but this is the one that's of the concern. This one just here along that very strong jet stream moving through the North Atlantic, as we just explained. So as we go through Wednesday afternoon, that low pressure deepening very rapidly, bombing out perhaps, and moving northeastwards into the west of Europe, a little bit further north with that area of low pressure on the 6th there. Means that the strongest winds are threatening more western and southern and southeastern parts of the country. Again, I think with that, look how tight packed the isobars are, you could be looking at gusts of wind around southern and western coast, possibly up to 70 or 80 miles an hour, which is, you know, a very, very significant weather event with that area of low pressure. And don't discount the rain with that as well. There will be some very heavy rain wrapped around that area of low pressure as well. By Friday, low pressure is drifting north into Scotland. More low pressure, though, is sitting in the North Atlantic. That comes through overnight Friday into Saturday, bringing very wet weather in across the country. Central pressure is that low, is 960 millibars, where the isobars don't look quite as tightly packed as the earlier low. That sets us up for a very unsettled weekend. This is bonfire night. Again, low pressure dominates the weather, so lots of wet, windy weather to come. And all the way up to day 10, really keep that low pressure meandering around the country and into the extended range while low pressure again remains in from off the Atlantic. But notice heights are rising again up to the north and northeast into the north. We can see it's centre jet stream on the northwest southeast of light. So it's starting to go a little bit colder there as we go through the second week of November, and the low pressure begin to take more of a southerly track. That's how finish up with GFS 6 still very unsettled, still dominated by low pressure. So this is going to be a very, very, very wet start to, or first half to November. This is UKV, so Thursday's weather event just coming into the time frame of UKV. Now, this would be some wind gusts for 6 in the evening on Wednesday. Not too bad, a bit blowy, but nothing much going on. But as we go overnight Wednesday into Thursday, then we see the gales and the severe gales arriving in the west and in the southwest. That's as far as we get to with UKV at the moment. It's a 3 a.m. on Thursday, and by then we're seeing gusts around the southern and western coastal areas like 70, 80 miles an hour. There is like 90 mile an hour gusts that's been indicated there. Just off the south coast, perhaps somewhere close to the Isle of Wight. That's up to 3 a.m. on Thursday. Strong inland gusts go to 50, 60 miles an hour as well. We'll know a little bit more when UKV updates for the 3 p.m. run, which will be this evening. But, it looks very significant anyway, the southern and western regions by 3 a.m. on Thursday. If you're enjoying the video, Please can you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for us. We only need to put on around 12 or 11 subscribers now to get ourselves to 17.1k, to get our first 100 within 17,000. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, help to get us to our first 100 within 17,000 subscribers. That would be incredible. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Okay, GM, again, low pressure is meandering around the country on Tuesday before the next low comes in profit Atlantic on Wednesday, bringing wet, windy weather. And then we've got this developing low just here along that strong jet stream. And so that brings very wet and windy weather from Wednesday into, from Wednesday into Thursday, and then Thursday into Friday. Beyond that, low pressure keeps on coming with the GM. No break until we get to our day 10. That's the 7th of November. By then, the low pressure that's shifting toward the North Sea. Heights begin to rise a little bit up towards Greenland and Iceland again. You'll notice threatens up, bringing something a little bit colder from the north and from the northeast. And then the ECM at WF is looking like this. Once more, have low pressure meandering around the country on Tuesday for wet and windy weather heads in overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. That's the major low that we're concerned about for Wednesday into Thursday. Worst of winds, with that looks like it's a bit further north and west, so Ireland get real batching from that, and possibly through those Irish sea coasts as well. So otherwise, a bit further southwards with that area of low. East shows a little bit further northwards with it. So again, the track of the low, it's been determined, and the track is important because it's always on the southern side of the lows, or tends to be on the southern side of the lows, that you get the worst of the winds. So if the low's further north, then the worst of winds will be further north as well. Conversely, if the low's further south, then the worst of winds will be further south too. Anyway, looking very wet and windy, possibly stormy Wednesday into Thursday. Low pressure keeps sitting around the country through to the end of the week. Another low coming in then from Saturday into Sunday. This is bonfire night, midnight bonfire night. Yet another low. Perhaps washing out bonfire parties. And we end up looking like that by day 9-10. We take the low pressures away to the east. We get a ridge building in the Atlantic. That starts to turn things drier and colder as winds begin to go into the north and to the northeast. It actually turns quite cold for Scotland by day 10 there, with -5 Celsius iceberg drifting in from the north. Could bring some snow showers into the northern parts of Scotland. You may have heard or read reports about a big freeze and a blanket of snow on the way for the UK. I saw that on Twitter or X today. Certain news agency channel is reporting about a blanket of snow and a big freeze. There's no sign of a big freeze or a blanket of snow coming within the next couple of weeks, as we've already seen. However, it may turn a little bit colder as we go from the first week into the second week of November, and it might be cold enough to bring a few wintry showers and maybe some snow showers to northern parts of Scotland, maybe some overnight frost as well. But let's keep it in perspective. Let's try and keep things in proportion. There's no sign of a freeze up at the moment. It's very early to be talking about a freeze up or a blanket of snow. Maybe in a month's time, we'll see. Right, this is my precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. No, of course, got wet weather piling up from the south this afternoon and into the east. Welcome to thunderstorms in the south as well with that, or the southeast this afternoon into this evening. Tomorrow, the rain again setting across eastern parts of Scotland. The thoroughly wet spell continues there. More wet weather sort of meandering around the country. We open up next week in for showers, and then wet windy weather comes in Tuesday into Wednesday. And then, of course, we've got this vigorous area of low pressure being stormy weather in from Wednesday night into Thursday. Heavy rain, gales, severe gale force winds with that. Showers meant to close out the week before more wet weather arrives later on. And then wind turns into the north. Things start to turn a little bit colder as we get days 9 and 10. Notice some green appearing, that snow. Showers start to appear across northern and eastern parts of Scotland there. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. The Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 7th of November. 21 members of the ECM ensembles, incredibly cyclonic, deep low pressure sitting over top of the UK and Ireland, so very, very unsettled with that 18, with low pressure again to our south and east. A ridge is in the Atlantic heading up towards Greenland, and winds potentially coming in from more of a northeasterly direction with that. So starting to go a little bit colder perhaps by day 10. That does include the control and the operation run. And then we've got 12 just here again with low pressure over top of the country. High pressure is away to the north. Winds could be coming in from an easterly direction, so very unsettled with that too. Further spells of rain to come there. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 12th of November. 17 members of the ECM ensemble seeing quite a significant change, with a mid-Atlantic ridge heading up towards Greenland and Iceland. Trough of low pressure to our south and east. So that could start to bring the wind into more of an east or a northeasterly direction. So that could start to turn things colder, actually, especially so to the north. We've got 13 with high pressure down towards France, low pressure in the Atlantic. That's still maintaining like a westerly flow. We've got 11 with high pressure centred over and slightly to the east of the coast. So it could be dry, but probably quite cold. Winds could be coming in from off the continent with that. Not really Scandinavian high, so it's not a proper easterly, but I mean, that could be quite chilly with overnight frost and fog. And then we've got 10 with high pressure over Scandinavia, battling with low pressure in the Atlantic. That's probably the mildest option, with winds coming in from a southerly direction. I wouldn't take that much to get wind backing into the southeast. A range of options, but it does consider high pressure might start getting a little bit more involved there when we get into the second week of November. Finally, giving us a break from the deluge. CFS V2 finally, so means the 500 millibar high times bring down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 28th of October, 3rd of November. This next week will be very unsettled with low pressure over country. Higher pressure is away to the north, so looking really wet in the week ahead. And it goes on into week 2. It's the 4th to the 10th of November. Again, low pressure just centred over top of the country. Not much more to say, other than it remains really, really unsettled. Week 3 will be the 11th, 17th of November. Another very unsettled week. This time low pressure just out to our west. So again, we see really wet, windy weather in from off the Atlantic. However, a big change to week 4. And this is interesting for anyone who wants proper cold weather. I wouldn't say this is a freeze, but, you know, this would be getting pretty cold. This is week 4. It's the 18th. 24th of November, a proper Scandinavian high event sets up. Low pressure moves to the south and to the southwest, and that would start to get the wind turning round into the east. That could start to drag much colder air in from the east, so certainly an increased risk of frost with that, possibly some snow showers into eastern areas as well if the air is cold enough. That is 4 weeks away, so it's a long way out. It's the 18th, 24th of November. But if you want some drier but also colder weather, that looks pretty good. And the GavsWeatherVids autumn forecast say that November might turn colder later in the month. Now to go back and have a look at that, I think. Okay, we're done. It's 4 weeks away, so it probably won't verify. We're done. If you enjoyed the video, please do you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. As I say, 12 subscribers or so going to get us to 17.1k. So please give us a sub. Get us to 17.1k. And then we'll push on. Eventually, we're going to get to 18k. Right, okay, that's it for today's videos and content. Tomorrow, we have 6 UK weather forecast. Have an epic 9th winter 2023-24 update. Going to be so much in there. Going to be absolutely jam-packed with data. So check that out at 10 AM tomorrow. And then, of course, we will be live at 6 PM. We'll discuss the 9th winter update. We'll do a 10 to 14 dayer for you, and we'll show some long range in that as well. So we've released the second season 1 roundup. for winter 2023-24, and got all of the Copernicus models in that video on three monthly anomalies from December to February. But in the live stream tomorrow, we will break those models down month by month by month, and you can see what all those European Copernicus models are showing on a month by month basis for the coming winter. I've got a lot to get on with through this afternoon. It's evening, get winter update together, so I'll be busy beavering away. But you enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon and or evening. For this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.